What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Beyond Clicking Clips. This is a podcast where I sit down and give you experiences and life stories of myself. Not really about Lego, but I'll give you all something a lot more involved with my life. This is something you can listen to while you build Lego or you're working, cleaning house, or doing whatever. Whatever that you choose to do. You can have this in the background as a little noise breaker, or you can listen, maybe make fun of me, or laugh at me, or laugh with me, or whatever. I try not to get too serious in these podcasts, but today's kind of one of those podcasts where I'm gonna kind of tell you about this week in my life. This really ain't the past, but it will be. But this is, I deal with this, and I just figured I might as well talk about it. Now, I don't know. Do y'all worry about anything? I mean, I understand there's everyday worries. There's worries about getting your bills paid, worried about, if you're still in school, your test, or your job, or whatever the case may be. You worry. I understand. But y'all worry about stuff that probably doesn't matter, or well, it does, or do you find yourself over worrying about it? I find myself over worrying about stuff, and I do it all the time. I've been like this when I was a kid, getting in trouble. I'll be worried about when my dad got home from work, how much trouble I'm gonna get into. When I was in school, there was a test. I'd worry about, did I study enough? Am I going to pass it? Because I really need to pass this class, to graduate, whatever. I always worried about it. My job, I worried about if I was doing stuff right, because in my line of work, if I didn't do it right, I could seriously hurt or kill somebody. But I did worry, and I've always been a worry wart. I always worried if I hurt somebody's feelings. It always bothers me, even if I can't even reconcile. It still bothered me. I always worried about what other people thought of me. Not so much anymore. I did grow out of that phase where I don't care what people think about me. I'm gonna be me. And that's all I can do. They don't like it. They can move past me, whatever. Which is, but I generally care about other people. Now I do worry about other people, their health, their problems. I always worry about them, including my friends. I always worry about what they're doing. But this week, going through this life, that we had to go buy a vehicle for the missus. I hate car shopping. I am not a mechanic. I can do the small things, change oil, put gas and stuff. Well, I used to. I can't very well anymore. But when I was able, I did most of the maintenance. I knew how to do change oil, checking fluids, putting air in the tire, changing lights. Blinker lights, or headlights, or tail. The minor stuff. Changing batteries, charging up batteries, whatever. Putting spark plugs in. I could do all that, but as far as getting down inside the motor and being a doctor, I couldn't do. But we went and bought this car, and we didn't buy the first one we looked at. We scouted, 3 or 4. We looked at them, and we came across this one. You know what? This is a pretty good deal, I thought. I checked the oil. There's no fluid in the oil. No water. Water in the oil turns kind of whitish. I drove it 3 times down the highway. Nothing wrong with it. I always brought up, you have a wife, you put her in a reliable vehicle, and that's what I was trying to do. I didn't have the money to go buy one right off the lot. I never really was that type of guy. My whole life, I only bought one vehicle off a car lot, and the rest of it, I went to either a small car or a small car lot or individuals. To me, I like to sell or buy vehicles from an owner because they're not going to lie to you to sell a car. They want to get rid of the car, yes, but they're not going to. In my mind, is weird because I always want to help the little guy out. I always wanted to keep my money in my town. I hate going to a different town and spend money in a different town, and I want my community to grow, the business owners in my community to grow. So I try to keep my dollars locally, right? Well, so I'd buy off owner usually, and I usually never got. I knew what I was getting. I knew, I could take a chance on and not running the next day. That's a chance you take, and I always take that chance. But 9 out of 10, if I had to put money, it was very small. I might have to put an alternator, do a little fixing on it. But at the end of the day, it was a good running vehicle, and that's how me and my wife always done it. And she's always been in a dependable vehicle, always. There's not been one day where she hasn't, especially with my kid. But we went. We had a Ford Ranger. That was my truck, and we got where I didn't really travel much, so we sold her other car, and she just took the Ranger, that's the only truck I bought off a lot, brand new, in 2001. We started having some problems with it the last year, so I go, well, you know what, it's probably time to go get her another one. So we went car shopping, and like I said, we scouted 3 or 4 of them. One we pulled up, and you could tell that this was going to be a bad choice. It was leaking oil already, and I think the main gasket was out. So yeah, we passed. We passed on that. No, we're not going to do that. Went to another one, and it was a pretty good. It was all right. It was used, of course, and there was cosmetic stuff wrong with it, but there's a lot of mileage on it, and we chose to pass on that too. And then when we went to another one, and so on and so forth, and finally we got to this one that we picked out, and I mean, it was nice. I mean, pretty car. Hardly any cosmetic damage. I think there was a little scratch on the fender. The mileage was average for the year of the vehicle, and it was all highway miles. So we're good on that. New tires, then to put shoes on it. Check the oil. Everything was clean, nice and clean, and the motor was clean. Transmission fluid looked good. All the fluids was up to the levels and looking good. It was, and we discussed that, and we drove it once. Me and my wife, we drove it there was a highway that runs, and we ran it down the highway, and ran good. I mean, nothing wrong with it. No pulling, no noises. It was quiet. Everything worked on it. Took it back, and then me and the mechanic of the little car lot that I bought that off of, me and him took it out on down the highway because he wanted to make sure there was nothing wrong with it. Well, so we took it down the road, started right up, rode down the road, and it was good. It was fine. And then, of course, we started signing the papers, and they took it again, and they filled it up with gas for us, and fine. So we got the deal done. Got the car home. We drove it around town for a few. Went grocery shopping in it. Got some groceries put in it. We drove it, and everything was fine. It started right up. Everything. We got back to the house, and the little thing on the little screen says you have a taillight out. I went over to the wife. I said, "We've been driving this all day, and it just went out." And so whatever, $9, $7, I think I paid for the taillight. I said, well, that ain't too bad. I can put that in, no big deal. So we'll go get it Saturday morning. By the time we noticed it, it was 7 or 8 o'clock at night. We were tired, want to get in, ready to start relaxing, do whatever we do. So we'll go out Saturday morning, get the light bulb, put it in, and be done with it. So next morning, we get out of bed, get our breakfast done, got cleaned up, dressed, get in the car to go get the light bulb, and try to start the car, and it just went room. I mean, it didn't. I go, well, maybe we left an accessory on, because new car, we may hit a button and it just stayed on all night and drained the battery. So put the Ranger to it and charge it up, try to jump it. It would not jump. Saved my life. It didn't even act like it wanted to jump. I mean, it's just the same noise. So I sat there and thought about it. I called a friend of mine over and I said, what could be wrong? And they said, it could be the timing chain. And I'm like, what? That's a surgery for a vehicle. Because they have to take the motor out and basically rebuild it. So I'm like, then I got mad. That's when I start dwelling on it and start thinking about it and all that stuff. I got myself worked up is what happened. Got sick to my stomach, got me a migraine, because boy, I was just dwelling on it. I was so disappointed, and I was so, overthinking and whatever, and disappointed. I was like, God bless. So I started worrying about it. Started thinking, it was getting me madder. And I was like, good grief. So I called them Saturday. They were open Saturday, so I called them, the little car lot I had, and I go, well, we got a problem. The car won't start that we just bought off of y'all yesterday, and and they were like, well, what's the problem? And I told them the problem, and told them what my friend kind of diagnosed, but what are we gonna do about it, He said, well, I'll come up there Saturday and get it, and we'll look at it. Okay. Well, Saturday, about 7 o'clock, came here, and they didn't pick up the car. And they were closed on Sunday. So Sunday, I dwelled on it on Sunday. Got madder, more upset. More disappointed. And then we get to Monday morning. 8 o'clock, I think I waited till about 11ish. I finally called them. I said, hey, you're supposed to be in here Saturday to pick up this car and look at it? And they said, well, our trailer broke down. We had to go get it fixed. I'm like, okay. Well, when we get that fixed? No. I'm like, well, okay. And in this meantime, I'm sitting here, I'm already upset about it. So I'm like, well, what are we going to do now? Well, then here comes Tuesday, and I'm like, here we go again. Called them up. I said, well, what's the verdict? And they go, well, our car is still, our trailer's still broken, and we got about our one mechanic's under 6 cars now, and we don't know when we're going to have time. This time I'm furious. I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I'll go take it to my mechanic and we'll get it sorted out. Called my mechanic up, and boy, he was there within an hour. I mean, and he confirmed it. And he goes, yeah. I mean, I can put it on. I'll put it on the computer, but it all signs lead to it is a timing chain issue, and he said it's not going to be a cheap fix, but it's fixable. And so I'm like, I'm already. So I said, you know what, set it up. We have to get it fixed. There ain't no other option about it. Well, I'm still frustrated. So Wednesday morning, I called the dealership. I said, I know I bought it as is, no guarantee, whatever. I understand that you take a chance on buying a car that's like that when you do it the way I do it. But there is a thing called, not screwing a guy. I don't think if I sold a car to a person or an individual, and it might, it could be with them. It could be 100% innocent. It ran, and I didn't see nothing wrong with it. Don't fix it, ain't broken kind of deal. And if I sold it to an individual and they call me up the next day and say, hey, it's not running, I'm going to be like, what? What's wrong with it? What was it doing? I think I would make it right with that individual. I would go and get that car and fix it. Or at least have a situation on it, fixing it. And, but nope, they said that, well, we can get in and we'll see how much it costs. Like they're going to charge me anyway, so I was disappointed. So, but I told them this morning, the morning I'm making this video, I told them, I said, you know what, I probably won't ever do business with you again. I'll probably not tell my friends to come look at you for a vehicle. I don't think how you did your business was proper, but it ain't my business to tell you how to run yours. But I know I won't be buying a vehicle from you ever again, and I know a few of my family members and friends probably won't either. Told him, I said, I think you did it dirty, but I'll take it because I'm the one who bought it, and I bought it as is. I didn't buy it with no warranty or 90-day warranty or anything like that. I just bought it. And, yep, that's the situation I'm in today. So, yeah, I'm a little disappointed in myself. But, hey, what can you do? But, end of the day, I'm going to have it get worked on, get it fixed. My wife's still going to have a good car. I think that's the only thing wrong with it. It ran good when it was running. Hopefully that's all I find, and hopefully it is. We want to have this car for a while, so we need to go get it fixed. And I just don't have. I can't. You go look at prices of cars these days. You can almost buy a house for what you can buy a vehicle, and I just can't. I won't do it. I will not do that. Call me cheap, call me lame, call me whatever you want, but that's just the way it is. I ain't going to spend that much money on a vehicle. Nope. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, this podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something from it. Maybe be a little diligent on buying a vehicle, because I'd hate to see this happen to anybody else, but it's what you do. It's what chances you take, and I just shared my experience with you. So if you like, please hit that like button. Please let me know what you think. Drop a comment. If you like this kind of stuff, maybe consider subscribing. And, guys, pay it forward. Be nice to one each other. Be nice. Open a door for somebody. Lighten their day. Until next time. Bye-bye.